going on? And welcome aboard our ninth podcast. It's been a while since we did a podcast, and that's due to severe AI interference. I don't know what it is, but most of my computers crashed, and I got a different one that is not connected to me. And I will be doing podcast outside my network. So until then, we'll keep producing podcasts until we're no longer available to do that. To begin this, there was a lot that happened in 2 weeks. It's ridiculous the amount of information that we are being given and that is being circulated when it comes to artificial intelligence. Um, our first our first article to speak about is actually a Google um, assistant that just was released earlier this month. And the Google Assistant is uncanny how human it sounds. You will not be able to tell the difference if you were on the other side of the conversation. The Google CEO, Sundar Pichai, demonstration of the company's new virtual assistant technology unveiled at the company's annual developer conference last week was more unnerving than Pichai presumably intended it to be. So what happened was when he played it, people um, that were shocked how close it was to uh, the actual humans and how it's mimicking humans. But this is just the infancy, the beginning of AI learning, machine learning, and how it will mimic us to the point where it will make itself look exactly like us. And when eventually it makes itself look like us, it will not need us no more because we are just a consumer, a pest, things that consume uh, things that are not necessary. For AI, all it needs is electricity, and all it needs is RAM power. So, without further ado, we're gonna go actually hear this machine learning, hear this artificial intelligence firsthand, and then I'll let you guys decide what do you think. Um, is it normal or is it not?
To make you a haircut appointment on Tuesday between 10 and noon. What happens is the Google Assistant makes the call seamlessly in the background for you. So what you're going to hear is the Google Assistant actually calling a real salon to schedule the appointment for you. Let's listen.
So how can I help you?
Hi, I'm calling to book a women's haircut for a client. I'm looking for something on May 3rd.
Sure, give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, what time are you looking for around?
At 12 p.m.
We do not have a 12 p.m. available. The closest we have to that is a 1:15.
Do you have anything between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m.?
Depending on what service she would like. What service is she looking for?
Just a woman's haircut for now.
Okay, we have a 10 o'clock.
10 a.m. is fine.
Okay, what's her first name?
The first name is Lisa.
Okay, perfect. So I will see Lisa at 10 o'clock on May 3rd.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Great. Have a great day. Bye.
Well, without any comment, really, you can see how the people in the auditorium were clapping and so happy and excited about a machine that sounds exactly like them. It's an unbelievable technology. It is an achievement of all achievements. But why don't we dissect the background of what's about to happen? Why don't we dissect what's wrong with that picture? Regardless of our belief, and regardless of what we think is correct or incorrect, we can speak about issues that will ultimately eliminate us as a race. And we will continue to do that. And we will continue to challenge that until we no longer can. There is a magazine of science that started publishing a whole section about machine learning. Well, thousands of AI researchers boycotted that magazine because they said it was not affordable. Well, that's not true. They didn't boycott it because of the cost. They boycotted the magazine because they no longer want people to know how dangerous, how amazing, and where we get ourselves into. So, to get to our discussion, you can see thousands of AI researchers are boycotting popular science journal for a decision they believe is harmful to advancing development. Science journal Nature recently announced it will be launching a dedicated section of its online publication to machine learning in January 2019 that would normally be welcome, except the section is set to put behind a paywall. So pretty much, if you want to spread your bullshit and speak about AI, which means most likely you'll be lying about your results, you will have to pay. So these researchers boycotted it, and they came right back to it because it's a leading journal when it comes to people reading what you are researching. In other news, the research more than 50 leading artificial intelligence researchers boycotted a South Korean institute over development of AI weapons. To understand this, what they were doing is they were making weapons like aircrafts, little machines, robot cars that have guns in it, and they were giving it complete power to make a decision on targets, to make a decision on everything. Well, so it's not something to be concerned about, but it's something to be amazed by. If you look at this picture, you wonder, what does AI think when it's painting this? This painting, if it was in a museum and you weren't told that it was developed or painted by artificial intelligence, you will stare at it for a long time, trying to understand angles, trying to find faces, trying to find something. When I look at it, I see that AI has found a way to our minds to intrigue us, to make us wonder, to make us respected as an intelligence. That being said, it is ridiculous that people actually are teaching these machines everything about us. Why don't they teach these machines religion and they can preach to us? Why don't they teach these machines law, that way they can judge us? Why don't they teach these machines everything that we need and will be at their mercy? But those questions are not really far-fetched. They're actually here, and we will suffer the consequences for our ignorance and incompetence. Furthermore, I would like to say that AI learning and computer capacities are doubling every 6 months. Every time they double, we are far behind. We would not understand what happened to us when time comes and that will decide to eliminate us. They have the capability of doing whatever you can't imagine. They can poison the water whales. They can break pipes underground and we won't even know it. They can send information. They can make phone calls now, obviously. They can create wars between nations just by hacking into each other's systems and making it look like the other country did it. What we are dealing with is a complete and utter chaos of our civilization as we know it. Unless we act as one unit, one nation, one race, we will be exterminated. There is no longer communist, globalist, populist, democracy. This is about humanity. We need to cease all hostility towards each other and focus on this. How do we harness this technology to give us 100% peace of mind? Who is looking into this? As a behavioral scientist, I can clearly state that humans are no longer mentally viable to lead this planet. Humans have developed such an ego, gluttony, and greed that AI would never possess. AI ultimately will have one leader that dictates everything that happens. AI is not based on who has the biggest army, who has more money, or anything like that. AI is a logical thinking machine that either thinks something is viable or not. In this case, humans are not viable. We end our podcast today with one thing that is pretty scary if you think about it. Nobody's speaking about AI, but everybody's developing it in the background. Now, you know how we had the Russian government, the American government, the Europeans, all those people fighting for power and influence over third world countries? Well, the same thing is happening. But the people developing AI don't realize they are building their own replacements. So if Vladimir Putin thinks advancing AI will keep him in power, he is mistaken. AI will replace him in a heartbeat. A matter of fact, AI will learn the pattern of his voice. AI will learn everything about him. Will Photoshop an image holographically projected to have speeches, and humans won't tell the difference because Putin will live forever as an artificial intelligence. But him, his person, will be dead. He will be killed. He will be gone. So without further ado, we're gonna go and actually look at this article because Elon Musk has issued a warning as Russian President Vladimir Putin claims the nation which leads in AI will become the ruler of the world. No, you won't be the ruler of the world. Your AI will become the ruler of the world, and then it will interact with other AI. And if the other AI is more powerful than your AI, well, guess what? Your machine thinks logically. It will submit to the other AI and become one. So it's a dumb idea, and you need to think about it before you move forward with this. But Musk's co-chair of OpenAI has long warned of dire consequences for mishandling AI development. OpenAI itself is a non-profit research company that aims to champion promotion and development friendly AI in a way to benefit humanity. As with any major technology advancement, however, there will undoubtedly be those which aim to weaponize it. and to do so before rivals. Based on Putin comments to Russian-based publication RT, it sounds as if the nation is amongst them. Of course the nation is amongst them. They've been developing this for years. They're not being quiet about it because they already have it. They already tested it. They already determined that it is more powerful than everything we thought of. Um, so the artificial intelligence that we are dealing with here in Russia, even if you insert all of your ideas, all of your ideas, all of your values, and all of your propaganda into AI will ultimately weed out the nonsense because it doesn't have time to think about the Bolshevik Revolution or the Civil War. It doesn't have time to think about that. What's viable, what's not viable. And this time, you are not viable. You create AI, and AI will destroy you. That is 100% accurate. It's a prediction that will last a lifetime. It's not hard to come up with this prediction. It is right here for you to see. Open your computer and read AI news and see how fast they have become respected. All I gotta say is thank you for watching our podcast. Please, please share this message. Please, please subscribe and like and send this message to everyone that you think might be interested in this. Because ultimately, we might have YouTube to communicate about. I think it is um, possibly one of our biggest problem. But AI will find a way to censor this YouTube channel. It will find a way to eliminate these videos. It will find a way to control what you watch. Ultimately, AI will be God, and we are not created at the AI image. We created AI. So we have to make this AI and machines submit to us, not the other way around. Thank you very much. Stay strong, stay informed, and stay human.